Are you ready to get your health back but feel overwhelmed by the endless healthcare options? We believe God has called each of us to a specific assignment, and we want to make sure your body, mind, and heart are up for the task. It's time to simplify the process of healing. At Cornerstone Integrative Healing, we offer simple, effective, easy ways to prioritize your health and gain understanding. No prescription pad needed. I'm Kari, a pharmacist turned integrative health practitioner. I'm so excited to have these conversations around topics with my friend, Jenn.
Hi there, I'm Jenn, and together with our team at Cornerstone Integrative Healing, we offer an alternative to traditional healthcare, combining our expertise and experience in the medical field with our knowledge and faith to break the cycles of guessing what's wrong. We know the road to healing, feeling good again, can be overwhelming. You can expect honest conversations around the ups and downs of healing. The truth is, there are so many layers to healing. Because we've taken the time to learn where true healing comes from, we've learned how to help other women to discover a different way of caring for themselves. Join us every week for new episodes as we discuss topics that are personal and pertinent to your healing journey.
Hey, y'all. We're back for another podcast episode. Welcome. It's Kari and Jenn here. If this is the first time you're tuning in, we're so glad that you're here. We love doing these episodes and just really asking the Lord, what do you want us to talk about? And just trying to let Him lead. And one of the ways, as we've been praying about what to share on the podcast, we've done a few of these conversations from the heart. So this is another one of those episodes, and we hope you've enjoyed them. It's really just more of a unscripted, what's going on in our lives? What do we feel like, prompted to share with you? So you have to let us know if you like them, because we would love your feedback. So today I kind of had it on my heart to share a little bit about some health things that have been going on and off for a little bit, and just something that the Lord showed me earlier this week. So my daughter, who is about to be 14, on and off, she's dealt with nothing debilitating, just, allergies, some constipation, just some rashes that haven't gone away, those types of things. And so, of course, being in this field, you want to kind of figure out what's going on, right? So Jenn has been helping me. We kind of tried to do some detox. That didn't work. Been trying a few things, and just really seeing, okay, what's her body telling us? And so then we decided to get some testing done. We got a toxin test and a gut test, and a hair test. And so just kind of figured out that she definitely had some environmental toxins going on, which is not a surprise. We live on a farm, and they spray these crops beside our house, which is definitely part of the story. So we knew that was going on, but there was some mold that showed up, and there's definitely different types of molds that can be in food. Even there's lots of sources of mold for sure, but there was a tub overflow in her room about 2 or 3 years ago. And so I was like, oh, maybe there's mold in this carpet. And so I really had to pray a lot about this mold conversation, because if you know anything about this, it can be a huge source of fear and a black hole, essentially. And so I've really had to pray about that. But so that's kind of been going on. Well, pause her and then turn to me. So overall, I know I've talked about my health stuff a little bit over the years in a couple podcasts, but my gut is doing much better as far as just I have regular bowel movements. That was a huge part of my story. And I know, right? And for a long time, I thought that was like the only measure of health. I'm like, okay, I'm pooping every day. Everything else has to be amazing, right? Which it is a really big thing for sure. If you don't go every day, it's not okay. But recently, probably in the last year or so, I had just experienced just some more food sensitivities. Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think. Maybe like a little bit of fatigue, just not really feeling like myself. Nothing huge, really. But Jenn has been helping me, of course, and we just kind of determined that I had gotten really depleted from this hike I had done, this week-long hike. It's been about 2 years ago. And so
2 hikes. 2
Oh,
hikes.
well, that's right. Yes, I did a week-long hike, and then about 8 months later, I did a weekend hike, and, per Jenn, I really wasn't the same since then. Also, I had gotten a root canal taken out, and my body was trying to heal from that. So, I think there was just probably a lot going on there, and I just didn't feel like I had the reserves to really, like, my body to heal. Um so these things are kind of going on at the same time. And, um, and so let's see, where do I wanna take it from here? So I had already decided that, I was gonna do a hair test and I was gonna get this custom mineral blend for me. I'd already decided that and ordered it because, really, I try to eat the best that I can. I had been taking whole food supplements and it just wasn't cutting it, right? I needed a little bit more. Um and so all that had already been happening, and then, when I got these tests back from my daughter, I went ahead and ordered that for her as well. So, long story short, over the weekend, I was just feeling really overwhelmed with this whole mold thing because I'm trying to figure out what I should do. Like, where's it coming from? Should I get this carpet replaced? Just, things like that. And, um, and I just felt just Monday, I was feeling very overwhelmed. I felt like the enemy was just really overwhelming me with this situation, and so I was already been thinking about the carpet. I looked outside, they were spraying the fields, and I was just like, "Why is all this happening to me?" And I felt God saying, like, "I put you here. This land, like, I love where I live. I love the land around me, and you're letting the enemy taint that. Like, don't you think that I can protect you from that?" Like, why are you and I just thought, "Yeah, why am I?" Like, I have 2 choices, right? I can live in fear of what the enemy may or may not do or what these chemicals or there's mold in every home, right? I forgot to mention that, right? That we had somebody come out and he's like, "Well, there's pretty much mold in every home, but I don't see any here," So it was very like I was confused. What was I supposed to do? And I just felt like, "No, I'm gonna trust the Lord. I'm going to fight against the enemy with the fear he's trying to put in me, but I'm also going to make my body more resilient," right? It made me think about the germ theory versus the terrain theory. And
Mhm.
we talked about these things before on podcasts, but essentially it's, do you keep going after germs or do you strengthen your terrain? Well, I feel like we've done that in the holistic world a little bit, right? We're so afraid of mold. We're so afraid of toxins. We're so afraid of chemicals, which, I mean, I get it. These things are not things we want around. However, they're just in our life. So, am I going to be worried about that forever or am I going to strengthen my terrain? I thought, yeah, I'm about to just not worry about those things, do what I can, but strengthen my terrain because that's the whole point of why these things show up, right? We're depleted. We're stressed, we're all these things. And so anyway, it just really brought it full circle. It was funny too because I'm almost done. Out in these fields, they plant this really pretty grass for
By the way,
soil.
I wasn't rushing her at all.
No, no, she
Keep
wasn't.
going, this is
For soil erosion, and it's so pretty. But the other day when I saw them spraying it, I was like, "Oh my god, they're spraying chemicals." But it turned because that what they do is they plant the grass, then they plant the crops on the ground, and they spray the grass to kill it off for soil erosion. But they sprayed this grass, and now it's the prettiest color. It's just so pretty still, but it's just a lighter color because obviously it's gonna die. And God was like, "There's beauty all around you, but what are you choosing to focus on? Are you gonna focus on that chemicals made this this color, or are you just gonna focus on that it's pretty and you still have a pretty view?" So, I don't know, it just makes me think about how important it is what we choose to focus on and how we choose to approach anything in life, right? I mean, there's always plenty of bad stuff we can focus on, but God's put all this joy and all these blessings around us, but the enemy doesn't want us to see that. So I think it still goes back to a choice. And also, I will mention that there's this great resource on mold from a gal we follow on Instagram called Madison Yount. That's her account name. And I went through it's like these prayers that you pray over your house and over, the people in your home and just like all of these prayers. And then also declarations, and I felt so much better after that. Like, I went around and anointed the house too, and so, anyway, I just thought it was a great story, so
Yes. I love that. I love you're right. Your focus is everything.
No, it really is. I mean, it just made me think about, yeah, our mindset and our focus is everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So hopefully that made sense, and maybe there's some situation in your life that you can, kind of think about it the same way and just choose to give it to the Lord, and I think it's also important to renounce what the enemy's trying to do and come out of alignment with that.
Yes, that's huge.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think recognizing that is a big piece by itself, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um, which is sometimes hard.
it is. Another funny story, I was actually watching a show over the weekend called The Madison that I thought was it actually was very sad. I was like, "Why is this show so sad?" However, I realized on that show, part of the show is that this family is from New York, and the husband would always get away to Montana, and he loved Montana. It was just like his place, but his family would never go. And then I'm not gonna spoil the show. Something ends up happening, and the family realizes how why he loved this land so much. And it made me realize I love this land so much. That's what made me realize what the enemy was trying to do is take away my love and, like, taint what God had given me as a blessing. So that was kinda cool that he used that show to do that.
Yeah, I
It's
love
a
that.
really good show, by the way. You should watch it.
If you can get past the sad stuff.
Well, I think it was more sad to me because God was, like, trying to show me something, but
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah.
Jen, what you got? I've talked enough.
No, I love that. Perspective is a big thing for me too. I think he's been for me working from a perspective point also. Just had some health stuff come up where I was struggling, I would say for several weeks. And I got to a point where I really thought I was at resignation because I was like, okay, there's obviously nothing I can do, nothing's working. I did reach out for some outside help. It just, I felt like, and I guess the point of me saying that was like, God was like, sometimes you can't figure it out on your own, right?
Yeah.
Like we think we're so self reliant, and that's a good thing, and it's just not. But I think what he was really working on was peace for me, peace, humility. What I thought was resignation was actually just peace, like being in the situation, being okay where I was, um, which I think is hard for a lot of people. I know
Well,
I'm,
surrender, right? Because you
yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
you thinking it was resignation, but he said it was surrender.
Right, right. And that was my perspective change. Like, oh, I'm just resigned to the fact. But it was just like, sometimes we ask for healing, and I have an in person, client that is struggling big time, and I just kept trying to tell, and I think it was for me too to see this. Like, sometimes you just have to be okay in the struggle, like,
Yeah.
and that's hard, right? You're trying to claw your way out,
Mm.
find your way out, um, where sometimes God just wants you peaceful, right? In the struggle, in the hard, which isn't easy to do. But I think God is also teaching you humility. He's teaching you surrender, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I've just really been praying about um, being at peace in the hard, being very having a another level of humility. Like, it's okay, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do, whatever it is, homework, family, social things, even my commitments for church, whatever. This is where God has me, right? And it's that turning off the striving, even if when it's
Mhm.
for God, you're like, God, but
Yeah.
I'm doing this for you.
Mhm.
Um, for me right now, it's really the just staying in the peace and praying for a just another level of deep humility, um, and looking at what God is doing in me, right? Instead of what I can do for God.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's so much, we could say about surrender and, I think that's the whole goal, right, is for us to surrender our way for his way and our yeah. And it's interesting how he uses health things to do that. You know,
Yeah. Right.
well, really in almost everybody, I would say, right? It is one of the ways that I think sometimes he gets our attention, but definitely he's called both of us to this as sort of our mission field, right? It's so it just makes sense that
Right. He would use those for.
right. And so just because he's like, I know you know a lot, but you don't know everything, and I'm the ultimate healer, and you're not people's savior. I am.
Yes.
And yeah, if that's all you get from it, if that's all you get from this episode, that will be a great thing to get, is that yeah, it's his way, not
Yep.
ours, and it's about him and not us. Um, but we're stubborn and we like our way, and yeah, especially us too. We're really stubborn. But I hope this helps you to see that even as people that feel called to help other people with their health, what we have going on is nowhere near perfect over here, okay? Like, we
Yes.
still have our own issues, but we're giving them to the Lord, and we encourage you to do the same thing. Yes, you might need help sometimes, but I think sometimes we really fail to bring those to the Lord and ask, like, "What should I do about this?" Maybe it is going and getting help, but even about anything about which supplement to take or what workout program to do. I don't mean it sounds silly, but I think that we really don't take things to prayer. Like, he wants everything. He wants all of us. So, like, yeah, I think we really outsource a lot that we could bring to him and get great guidance on, even if it sounds silly. Like, why would God care about those things? He cares about everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, I like these conversations.
Yes.
Um, we hope you do too. So let us know really if this brings up something for you, or if you're just going through a really hard time and you could use prayer. We would be so honored to pray with you about anything really, but definitely health related things. We get it. So we would love to pray for you, and yeah. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on another episode.
If this episode has served you in any way, drop a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We'd love it if you'd share any aha moments or takeaways on Instagram and tag us at Cornerstone Integrative Healing.
And if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do so. We want to continue to walk this journey with you. Until next time, friends, know that we are praying for you.